I'm a gamer as much as the next guy, but there can be, let's see, even I know there's a limit between how much game time you should actually play. Now, video games can both have benefits and some drawbacks, but today I'll be mainly focusing on the drawbacks of playing video games for too long. So, according to various sites such as the Huffington Post and kidshealth.org, the main drawback that most people find in playing video games for too long is they can lead to a lack of exercise in their lifestyle, which could also lead to them becoming overweight. Among other diseases, of course, but there's also other negativities such as gaming can cause depression and anxiety, and lack of social interaction. I mean, sure, I can see that you feel comfortable playing this game and it's in another world entirely, but it's not really going to relate back to how you're talking to your friend in a normal conversation, such as maybe talking to him like, hey, what's your favorite character? I mean, sure, that can be an exception, but it can't really work all the time. It can also affect a kid's school grades. How, you may ask? Well, I believe that if they focus more on the gaming than their homework, it can really hurt their grades in the long run. Sure, you might be really good at a video game, but it can also lead to more of a lack of education, which could really affect your future career. I mean, sure, you'll be very good at video games, but there's also the issue when you play for so long that you realize you haven't talked to your mom in weeks, and also that your room is a mess and you should probably clean it up, even after you did long hours of gaming. Also, it could also lead to a distortion of time, which you would think one more level, but unfortunately, by the time you look back at the clock, it's now 3 in the morning and you're supposed to be in bed hours ago. How much time has passed can also really affect your eating habits, which says you need to eat 3 times a day. But there's also the fact that it can also make your body go out of whack because you forget to eat. But don't think that junk food is an alternative to go by, even though it can help you get back to your gaming immediately. It can also affect you immensely by causing you to become overweight after eating all that junk food that has so much excessive fat. I've talked about the negatives of gaming for too long. There's also some benefits that gaming can give to all of us. The first of which is improved hand-eye coordination, which it can be seen in a lot of games with how reactions can go. Like reaction stuff like quick time events and all that, but that much is just shown. But now for talk about decision making and quick thinking can also be a factor of improvement for gaming as well. Games like more of those choose your own morale type of games where you get multiple options, but it's up to you to make a decision of what outcome will happen with your choice. But it can also show that how you can handle these in real life situations as well. It's thanks to video games that they can give our brains exercise in the first place, other than the usual stuff we usually use. But it also gives us the chance to live scenarios that aren't really possible normally. Like, for example, you're some kind of magical flying machine in the sky, trying to fly through some magical rings just to get the best time for a race or something. Game benefits. Also, they can help you learn the use of anticipation. And what that can really help with is keeping in mind the long-term goal, as well as keeping in term with the actual immediate situation. Like, for example, a hero is trying to save a princess, but they still need to help this villager get rid of the monsters near the village. Many of the things I talked about can also help you keep you healthy and all that. But one big thing to keep in mind is also to try balancing gaming and your life outside of gaming. Now, my recommendation for this would be trying to limiting your gaming hours per day, and also trying to take breaks after certain intervals, just to make sure you don't burn yourself out or get too addicted to playing the game in general. But to tell you the truth, I have not been keeping up with my own rules that I've set up, since I am not in proper shape still. But I'm also glad that my gaming thing. It's also a great deal that my family understands gaming a good chunk. But I can understand how this can be an issue for other people who aren't really as lucky as me in that regard. So to conclude, I would say gaming can both have its benefits and drawbacks depending on how you can handle your time, and also you can also keep up with your own family and friends. I thank you for listening to my ramblings.